You don't hear people bragging about their cars anymore. That's the first sign something's broken. A couple of years ago, everyone talked about resale. Now they avoid the topic. Because once you try to get out of certain cars, the damage shows up fast. Take the Jeep Grand Cherokee, especially the newer L and 4x trims. This was supposed to be the safe family upgrade. What owners are finding instead is recall fatigue, electrical glitches, and dealers drowning in inventory. I've seen buyers who paid near sticker in 2023 get trade-in numbers so low they just laughed, not because the car is old, but because the market already decided it's risky. Once that label sticks, value doesn't slide, it drops. Then there's the Ford F-150 Lightning. This one hurts because expectations were massive. Ford took the best-selling truck in America and tried to redefine it. What they delivered feels like a compromised truck buyers never asked for. Cold weather destroys range. Towing turns it into a planning exercise. Dealers know this now, which is why Lightning inventory just sits. When rumors of production pauses start floating around, resale doesn't recover. It gets punished harder. Look at the Nissan Ariya. This wasn't a loud failure. It was a quiet one. Late launch, wrong price, then Nissan panicked. Discounts on new models crushed used values overnight. I've watched one-year-old Arias list for nearly half of what people paid. That's not depreciation, that's the market walking away. Alfa Romeo plays the same song every time. Giulia, Stelvio, great to drive, terrifying to own long-term. Electrical issues, thin dealer networks, and unpredictable ownership costs make buyers hesitate instantly. I've seen identical cars get wildly different offers because half the buyers won't even consider touching one. Fear alone wipes thousands off the price. Luxury EVs are where things get brutal. The Mercedes EQ lineup, especially the EQS SUV, was supposed to replace the S-Class Aura. Instead, buyers got something heavy, awkwardly styled, and over-engineered in all the wrong ways. Dealers cut prices early. Lease deals flooded the market. Now barely used examples are selling for prices that would have been unthinkable 2 years ago. Once luxury buyers feel embarrassed instead of proud, resale collapses. The Jaguar I-Pace followed the same path. Early hype, then silence. Jaguar shifted direction, models got orphaned, and used buyers lost confidence. Tech without long-term certainty doesn't hold value. It never has. And then there's the Tesla Cybertruck. Early flippers made money, briefly. Production ramped faster than demand. Quality complaints stacked up. The design alienated traditional truck buyers. Tesla cuts prices, and everyone who bought earlier pays the price. That's how Tesla always resets the market, and it's ruthless on resale. But the moment where people really stop talking is when Toyota enters the conversation. The Toyota Mirai should have been untouchable. Toyota, reliability king, resale champion. Instead, it became one of the hardest cars to get rid of in America. Hydrogen stations closing, fuel prices exploding, owners driving hours just to refuel, dealers refusing trade-ins altogether. I've seen Mirais listed for prices that barely crack four figures. When a car can't reliably refuel, the market doesn't debate it. It rejects it. Maserati, especially the Levante, shows what happens when brand image can't outrun reality. Massive depreciation, brutal maintenance costs, insurance premiums that scare off second owners instantly. Buyers who financed these were underwater almost immediately. Once a brand earns a reputation for pain after the warranty ends, resale doesn't fade. It evaporates. Even the safe EV plays aren't safe anymore. Volkswagen ID4, Nissan Leaf, Mercedes EQE. Software complaints, fast-aging tech, incentives on new models that nuke used prices. Buyers know the next version will be cheaper or better, so they wait. And waiting kills resale. Here's the uncomfortable truth most people don't want to admit. Resale value isn't about the badge. It's about how safe the next owner feels. Right now, fear is everywhere. Fear of reliability, fear of tech, fear of being stuck with the wrong future. And fear destroys value faster than any recall ever could. That's why these cars are becoming financial nightmares in 2026. Not because they're all bad machines, but because the market no longer trusts the story behind them. And once trust is gone, there's no way back. And here's the part most people don't see coming until it's already too late. Because once a car crosses that invisible line, from questionable to avoid at all costs, the market stops negotiating. It just shuts the door. That's what's happening now with brands people assumed were untouchable, not loud failures, quiet abandonment. Take Lucid. On paper, the Air is incredible. Range numbers that embarrassed everyone else. Interiors that looked like the future. But none of that matters when buyers start asking one question: what happens if this company doesn't make it? I've watched six-figure cars lose tens of thousands in months. Not years, months. Not because the car suddenly got worse, but because uncertainty is poison to resale. Nobody wants to inherit a software-defined vehicle if they're not sure the servers will still be running in 5 years. The same anxiety is creeping into other EV brands too. Polestar, Rivian, even some of the newer Mercedes EQ models. Owners aren't complaining about driving experience anymore. They're worried about updates, modules, parts, and what happens when the warranty ends. That shift in mindset is deadly. Once buyers stop asking, "How does it drive?" and start asking, "How do I get out?" the value is already gone. And then there's something even more damaging than bad tech or shaky companies: manufacturers admitting mistakes in real time. When a brand slashes prices on new models, it's not helping buyers. It's detonating the used market. Every rebate, every panic discount, every limited time incentive sends a signal that the product didn't land. Owners feel it immediately. Trade-in numbers drop. Listings sit longer. Dealers stop calling back. You don't need a crash for that, just a loss of confidence. This is exactly what happened with several mainstream EVs. Cars that were pitched as the future are now being treated like transitional mistakes. Buyers assume they'll be outdated in a year, so they wait. Waiting kills demand, and without demand, value has nowhere to go but down. Even gas cars aren't immune anymore. When reliability questions stack up, when recalls become routine, when ownership stories turn sour, buyers don't care how good the spec sheet looks. They care about risk. And right now, risk is priced aggressively. That's why you're seeing dealers quietly refuse certain trade-ins. Not because they're rude, because they know they can't move them without losing money. Once a car earns that reputation inside dealer networks, it's effectively marked. You can drive it, you can maintain it. But selling it becomes a different game entirely. And here's the part nobody wants to admit. Most of these cars didn't become financial nightmares overnight. They were sold with confidence, with hype, with assurances. The nightmare shows up later, when the loan balance doesn't match reality, when the warranty clock runs down, when the market moves on without you. That's why this feels different from normal depreciation. It's not gradual, it's abrupt. One day the car feels fine. The next day it feels heavy, like something you're stuck carrying. If you already own one of these, you don't need convincing. You've felt the shift, the silence, the way people stop recommending the car they just bought, the way conversations change. And if you're shopping right now, this is the part you need to understand. The biggest mistake isn't buying an expensive car. It's buying a car the market is already preparing to leave behind. Because once that happens, there's no arguing your way out of it. The numbers have already decided.